Well, hello everyone out there, knights and would-be knights. Welcome to Game Nights Presents Wildspace Season 2. I'm your buddy Ryan. I don't know what my name's going to be for this game, but just right now, let's go with Ryan. And I have a wonderful group of players with me tonight. And we're going to be running with all new characters, all new story, all new locations, and just really excited for how this is all going to go. We're also doing an all new system, at least for this series. We're going to be using, instead of Dungeons and Dragons 5e, we're going to be using something super different and doing Dungeon World, which is very similar but different. Yeah. So we're not going to spend a ton of time talking about the system and how it's played beforehand. You'll pick up as we play. But we will spend time with some aspects of character creation. That said, most of our all of our players have characters in mind already. We also have art as well. I don't know if they already saw it, or I believe everyone here who's probably already seen it. So we will begin with do we have any announcements? Lords was last week, so and we're going to double up on Cyberscape. Is that coming out this Thursday?
Wednesday.
So Cyberscape, the next episode of our podcast, is coming out this Wednesday, which coincidentally also uses Dungeon World at least half of the time. I think that's it for now. Oh, and also on Wednesday, in addition to Cyberscape, Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
You dirty rat. So we're gonna have a game of some kind on Wednesday that will be played, and it will be led by Lindsay, and you all know what it's like, and so just be there and show up and be surprised, as we all are. Let's see. I don't believe there are any other announcements other than usuals. Follow all of our socials, join our Discord, and as we kind of talk about the characters, and you've seen their art and everything, I don't think we have character slides for anybody today, but definitely check out the artist who we have linked somewhere. Was very, very pleased with how everything worked for us before. So thank you so much. Who should we start with? I think who I want to start with is Admestus.
Yes.
Oh God. Tell me about.
Oh no.
Tell me about Admestus.
Admestus is very strong. We'll see. For all this character intro stuff, I will just use my normal voice. No. So, let me pull up the picture so I know what he looks like. So, he is very, very extremely classically handsome, almost unnaturally so. Goes around in this. I'm envisioning it as kind of a mix between the Black Panther suit and just nanobots. So it's a very skin tight bodysuit thingy. But he is in, I guess, the Dungeon World parlance. He is the paladin. In universe, he functions as kind of a bounty hunter. He is very much about strength, but in whatever form that may take. Yes, he is very strong and has all of the muscles, but you don't have to have muscles to be strong, in his view.
All right. 2 questions. Number 1, you're playing a paladin. What is the center of your devotion or your belief?
Yes. For Admestus, as I said, it is about strength in whatever form it may take. So for him, it is, It might be the strength in his muscles, the strength that his convictions, his deity, which we haven't talked about, Ryan, because I still haven't figured that out.
Okay, so there's a deity of some kind.
Probably. I'm trying to think whether there is a deity or if it's all science-y stuff. But
Okay.
I think flavor-wise it works a little bit better if there's some deity in greasing the wheels, as it were.
Okay. My second question is, does the suit leave anything to the imagination?
For 99% of the body, no. It is still modest enough for my company.
Just 1%?
Well, no,
I'm just kidding. We're moving on. All right. So next, what we're going to be talking to is Bronwyn.
Oh God, I have to follow that up. Braun is what I'm going to refer to him as from this point forward, is just a normal guy. Doing a normal job. He is Vitalin, which is my like a homebrew race that came to justify the fact that he is a extra dimensional vampiric humanoid. He has, as you can see on the picture and the art, has blue skin, pointed ears, kind of traditional kind of vampire looking, but the race is characteristically the blue skin with the fin-like protrusions on their head. He's a lesser vampire, but they are his race comes from like another dimension that like collapsed or was destroyed. I haven't really fleshed that out, but through its destruction, his people were cast out into Wildspace, and that's sort of where vampire and vampire lore originated from. There aren't a lot of them, but they're pretty distinguishable as vampires when you see them. Bronwyn himself is a bounty hunter, kind of like at Mestis, but is probably a lot different in the way that he approaches this job. He's a ranger, uses a rifle as his weapon of choice, and has a animal companion named Helsing, who looks like kind of a wolf, a little bit like purplish, bluish color, and is sort of a symbiotic wolf-like creature. I don't know how much more detail to go into it than that, but yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. I've got two questions. So you're a vampire.
Yes.
What does traditional vampire lore get wrong?
Well, as far as sunlight isn't an issue, stakes to the heart, having to be invited into the house. Their weaknesses, they do have a issue with being close to silver is one of their banes, and the presence of garlic is another. Does not like garlic.
All right, excellent. So the other space vampires.
Oh, and consecrated ground. That's another one. Like actually, like holy, holy areas, holy stuff.
Interesting. We're gonna do bonds after we go through the descriptions, and I've got some interesting questions for that. How many? So, if without, I guess, avoiding numbers, what is the organization of space vampires? Did you all spread out? Are there still any sort of organization of hierarchies left from whatever structure you came from, or has that all been completely thrown to the wind?
As far as the there are still vampire lords who kind of oversee their territory, but I imagine with space travel and things, they've spread out a lot more. So you probably only have one vampire lord per, like, well, I don't know exactly how big we're going per sector. Yeah.
Okay.
And in that sector, you're probably not going to have more than probably less than a dozen, if even that. the Talon that are sort of under their control. They keep their numbers very spread out and very small.
Do you have a vampire lord?
I think so. Yeah, I think there is one that Braun is just by proximity being in, because I imagine there's one in the sector that we're in. And there's probably one that Braun has to be sort of reports who doesn't really work for directly. But if there is that sort of calling, if they are called upon that person, that they have to obey, or they will be probably killed as a result. But again, it's they work on a different level of time since they're sort of an immortal race. So I don't imagine it's like every other Tuesday I go in for a company meeting or something. It's probably like once a decade. One of them might call on me if things are bad, or might call on some of them to help. I don't have a name or anything.
You don't need one right now, but definitely get back to me in the future about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on. Let's go to Risa?
Risa?
Risa.
With an E sound.
Tell me about yourself.
Okay. I'm playing Risa. Risa is a salamander, as you can see from her art. So a humanoid with lizard-like features and a tail, which is great. She is a sort of relatively small. She's about 5'2", thin, sinewy, and covered in scales with lizard fangs and things like that. She's just really great, you guys. She doesn't carry a whole lot of stuff. She doesn't wear any armor, obviously. She doesn't carry any weapons or anything like that. Risa is very outgoing and generally just very happy to be wherever she is and meet people. She is a member of a group of people, or a tribe called the Oku, who live on a mostly inhospitable volcanic planet at a place where the veil between this plane and the fire plane is very thin. And as such, a lot of her people have been blessed or taken unto themselves the powers of the Immolator. He does fire stuff.
Interesting. So, there's some interesting. And interesting that Braun is extra dimensional, and you sort of exist between dimensions in a way. Very peculiar. Oku, do they travel around a lot? I mean, it seems like they seem to be pretty in tune with that edge near the fire plane. Do they travel around a lot, or is it unique that Risa does this?
Not a lot of them travel. I think there are a few every now and then that will go out into the universe. So for the most part, there is a core group of her people that stay where they're at to continue on their culture in that place that's very important to them.
Okay. And no further questions at this time.
Okay.
All right. This is going to bring us to Fugawaha 7.
It me. I'm playing Fugawaha 7. No, I am playing as Dismember Unit FG1012Y, designation Futura. I am a robot.
You're a robot guy.
I'm a robot guy. I'm sort of a Star Wars-y kind of robot, I would say, but a little bit scarier and probably a little bit more violent than most robots on Star Wars. I think, Futura has very angular features. Looks like something like if someone were to build a tank with arms and legs, the arms can extend very far. He's designed for very close combat. He has a glowing red eye in the middle of his face, and he's very intimidating.
So, all right. Are there a lot of other models like Futura?
There are tons. I would say there's probably thousands of them scattered around. I like to imagine that there was like an old war that happened, and one side won and the other side had all of these robots that they were using to fight in the war, and maybe like they just kind of took them over, sold them off to lots of different corporations, and they just kind of ended up with random jobs here and there. And yeah, Futura is one of those.
Were you bought by a corporation?
Yes. But he no longer, or sorry, what were we going to ask?
What was the corp?
I'm going to say the corp. Oh man,
that's a lot.
No, not again. What if like just every character I play was once owned by Ocelot? It's like it's just like a thing with me. No, I want another one, and I'm gonna say it's the corporation's name is Violet 7.
Future corporations, man. Like MySpace URLs. All right, cool. Violet 7. All right. What? Well, we won't get into that yet. I'm just gonna make a note of that. Cool. But you no longer. What happened?
I think Futura was at one point on the job contacted by, well, since this is the future, a rogue security AI that's just like a living being that's just doesn't have a body, whose job is security. Okay. And this rogue AI kind of made some money on the side, just basically getting paid to unlock units. Kind of he would like root other droids that were owned by corporations, separating them, like unregistering them from that corporation.
So decoupling them, basically scrubbing serial numbers and all that.
Right.
Ooh. What was the name of that rogue security AI?
I'm gonna say his name was Basmati.
All right. All right, you got it. Fantastic. Once we talk more about where you all are going to be starting, we will circle back around and see how you all fit into this place. But cool. Thank you, Futura. Next, we are going to go to Ghost.
Hit me. Let's see. Ghost is a little punk. They're sort of an androgynous looking, sort of teenage human. At least most people are pretty sure they're human. It's hard to tell. They're wearing this helmet all the time. So not a lot of people know what's under there. They wear like kind of fashionable, like cool clothing. And they are a hacker / thief.
Fantastic. What kind of things does Ghost get up to? What kind of things does Ghost hack? Hack for hire, or are they like anonymous and have some sort of agenda? What's the deal?
They pick up jobs every once in a while, probably hacking. They sort of do it as like a pastime. What they do to, they just like to peer into other people's lives and their secrets and figuring out as much as they can about a person. It's how they like to spend their time. Sometimes they'll even like break into people's houses and just be a creep amongst their stuff, but they don't usually take anything.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay.
I'll ask that question later. Cool. Thank you. That's going to bring us to Jacqueline.
Oh yeah, hi there. How you doing?
I'm all right. Tell us about yourself. Yes.
So I'm playing Dr. Jacqueline Hyde, who is the chirurgeon class. I think it's a rehash of the cleric. We'll see. Jack is a doctor, or she was a doctor. Now she's a doctor who just never stopped practicing medicine in back alleys. So that's what she do.
I guess it's the emphasis on practice.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, she's pretty good. She doesn't have her license anymore.
Okay. Fantastic. So why did she lose her license?
There was an ethics investigation into her research after Dr. Hyde submitted a new proposal for maybe some sort of treatment, and then the scientific review community was like, I'm sorry, what? And so then there was an ethics review, and she failed it hard. So her licensure was revoked. She was no longer allowed to practice and was basically like run out of the media, because she used to be really prolifically renowned for being like basically a medical prodigy, and then she just kind of fell off the face of the earth after she fell from glory.
Gotcha. So she's unlicensed. What kind of people? How she used her skills now?
Basically, anybody who's desperate enough for medical attention, but doesn't want to go to the authorities for whatever reason, or people who are super cautious and don't want to go to the like official routes for healing. Maybe people who are like, I would go to cleric if I thought that they would heal me. That sort of a thing. So she just, helps the worst kind of people.
She helps the worst of people. Excellent. All right. So I think it's time that I talked a little bit about where you all are. Again, this is not, this is more of ideas, and then it will be filled in and fleshed out by you all. But to do this, let us change this. I think this one starts eventually, and we'll change this to, yeah, okay. So, you all, where the story takes place, is the city known as Dredge.
Dredge.
Yes, and I will need you to say that every time I say the name of the city, Dredge.
Dredge.
Doing well. Dredge is located in a world scarred by ancient wars. The city itself built within the bowl of a burned out sea. Constructed from the materials of the seabed, built from the ghost bones. It bristles with towering spires, neon shopping districts, steaming ramen caddies, and chirping vendo bots selling bottles of Schlorp soda. Among the towers are enormous artificial bodies of water imported from Outworld. Stop chewing on that, buddy. But that isn't all there is to Dredge. Towards the bottom of the city, where the rainfall drains in a level known by some as the Trawl. Toxic salt pits, radiation, and toxic waste caught in pockets just beneath the surface of the earth. Periodic eruptions. Only the truly desperate live in the Trawl beneath. Mutants and disease creeps in the depths below Dredge. In the tops of the spires, as you might expect, the more affluent, some spires themselves poke outside and above the cloud cover. one of the few places where one can see a starry sky. But as you might expect, that's not where you are. Not yet, anyway.
Why?
You know why. You know what you
We're the
did.
worst.
Okay, so let's flesh out this world just a little bit. I'm not going to do this too much because we're gonna I want to wrap this up in with the bonds discussion. So if you all are unfamiliar, viewers at home or on the road, or unfamiliar with the bond system in Dungeon World, it's just a way of mechanically connecting the characters' stories with each other, essentially. It represents a state of your relationship that you would like to take an action on, either to change it or to as in response to it. And this is just a way to kind of inform play and help people it kind of guides interactivity within the characters, which I really like. Now there are, each playbook has its own suggestions for some bonds. I recommend starting with a couple of those, but very soon you will be writing your own, very, very soon. Has anyone been thinking about the bonds that they would like to set at the start? And I'll say this real quickly. I think it's basically impossible for you all to have a bond for every other character right now. So that should not be your goal right now. That will be your maybe in between sessions over the next coming weeks, yes. But for right now, don't shoot for that. Just try to get a couple bonds with a couple of the characters, I will say. That said, would anyone like to start?
I can. Oh, Travis, you go ahead.
Sorry. Well, Futura, I think, would probably gravitate towards Dr. Jacqueline, because, well, Jack's knowledge of the inner workings of organics extends even beyond my own. I think that I will trust her knowledge.
Okay, and what's the bond itself? Is that yeah, you just read it. That was the whole sentence.
That was it. Yeah.
So the bond is that because of her expertise, you will trust her knowledge. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Very cool. All right, excellent. Do you have a second one, or is that all you got for right now?
That's what I have right now.
Okay,
that's what I got.
Let's go to Jack. I'll say we're just gonna a passing grade is 1 for each of you. Once we get 1, we can move on to the next part. Jacqueline or Jack.
Okay. So one of the ones on my character sheet is one I'm going to fill in with Ghost. And it says, if it wasn't for my skills, Ghost would have been dead long ago.
Very cool.
And I think I want to tack on there that I think they need my protection, or I need to keep an eye on them.
Okay.
That feels a bit more actionable to me.
All right. I like it. So you feel a responsibility to Ghost going forward?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Then let's go to Ghost.
Okay.
Yes, do it. A thief has the best bonds.
Yeah. I think I stole something from Admestus.
Yes.
Where are his pockets?
Yeah, he doesn't have pockets.
That's what made it so easy to steal.
Yeah, well, Ghost doesn't steal things necessarily. I think they steal secrets. And
what was this? Oh, and I'll say for the viewer audience, these bonds that are created are collaborative. So the parties involved all have a say in it. So I'd like for you to start out, Ghost, with what you like your idea of what you stole from Admestus, and then Alex, you can bounce off that or go in a different direction.
Sure.
I think Admestus has something that makes him weak, and he wants to hide that from everybody.
Interesting.
Go on.
I don't know what though.
Doctor pulls out notebook. Really? You don't see.
All right. First off, Alex, if you like it,
Yeah.
but just want more time to think about it, we can move on.
Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Yeah, gonna have to think about what his quote unquote weakness is.
Okay, that's fine. You
Okay.
you start thinking about that. We don't even have to resolve that this session.
Yep.
But so you go ahead, write that down, Ghost, and then
Okay.
Alex, make a note of trying to come up with what that is.
Mhm.
Excellent. That's really, really cool. So I'm gonna go to Risa next.
Okay. So I have one that I'm gonna modify a little bit, but I have I cast something into the fire for them and still owe them their due, meaning that they have done something for me and I need to pay them back. I'm gonna give that one to Braun.
Okay. So what did they do?
Well, Braun, you're a bounty hunter, right?
Let's see.
Risa has a very large bounty on her right now.
All right.
She.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I turn you in, I get my money, and we're good.
Well, that doesn't seem right.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Let's do this step by step. Why do you have a bounty on you?
So, Risa's kind of a mercenary, but because of her particular set of skills, she takes on some like dangerous work, a lot of which has to do with like property destruction and other things like that. And she took a job from a company that wanted her to destroy part of a rival company's stock of merchandise so they could come in and buy them out very cheaply, and she might have accidentally burned down the entire warehouse. So, so
Okay.
they're not very happy, and she owes them a lot of money. That's a short version of what happened. It was definitely an accident.
Sure.
Braun, why didn't you turn her in?
Because Braun is a really bad bounty hunter. I've been trying to think about how to play this. So I've got the alignment chaotic, which is to free someone from literal or figurative bonds is my fulfillment of that. So I think while Braun is supposed to take people in, no questions asked, and get his due, I don't think he does that all the time. And I think if Risa was in a point where she did something accidentally and there were people that were, maybe unscrupulous types or types that were looking for a bounty, and maybe I took the job and didn't quite understand the reasons for it.
Dirty
Maybe
businessman.
Maybe I got to know her and she, while she's in the back of the car and handcuffed and tells me what actually happened, and then maybe some other crap happens and we get a Fifth Element sequel, and then
Yeah.
and then I decide not to turn her in. I think that's the most simple way to do it.
Okay. Well, fantastic. Okay, so you're the only one who doesn't have Emesis doesn't have a bounty or a bond yet either. But we'll do Braun, give me a bond.
I've got like 4 that I had ideas for, but I will wait for the others.
We'll start with one.
Yeah. Okay, here's the one I want to go with now, because I got a couple, but I had an idea for one with Admestus, but I have 2, and I don't know which one thinks like I want to leave it up to Admestus which one thinks like it would work better with his personality. So one of them is blank always gets in the way. It's pretty simple, but it's one of like the ranger kind of typical ones. The other one is blank does not understand life on the streets, so I will teach them. So I wasn't sure with Admestus, I don't know how much time he actually spends on the street. You seem like somebody that might be from one of the higher districts, but I'm not sure if you're from like spend much time in the trawl.
I think maybe he definitely spends time in the trawl, but can view it as a little beneath him, but is also like, hey, this is all that's paying. I'll go do this work. So I think the first one makes a bit more sense. He's spent enough time in the trawl, gets it, and I think it makes sense because Admestus is very he's a close quarters combat expert, and so if Braun is trying to snipe someone to take him out, and then oops, Admestus is in the way.
Okay, and that's what I was thinking too, because your style seems more like run and punch things. My style is more shoot things from far enough away that they never saw me. So I think that probably will work better. So yeah, I'll put you down for that one.
Fantastic.
And I might come up with a second line for it, because always gets in the way, just kind of like stops and doesn't really give me much room for resolution. So I don't know if you have any ideas for a way that, like a second clause to that, but
yeah, maybe something about well, this might help because one of my potential bonds, because I think I could come up with something for all of mine, because we're both bounty hunters, this kind of works out. Braun has stood by me in battle and can be trusted completely, so we've probably worked a few jobs together, and so yours might be, Mestis is always getting in the way, we really need to figure out tactics or something.
Yeah, we need to get on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do that. I like bounty hunter bros.
Ooh. Love it.
I'm so happy right now.
Okay, so how many people have more than one? About half. All right, let's get one more from each of you, and then we'll save the rest for off stream. So let's go to Jack next.
Okay, so another one from my sheet that I'm sort of tweaking a little bit. I'm not sure how it starts. In the sheet it says, even if they don't trust me, I was going to say Futura is the best companion I have. So I don't know if it's they don't trust me or if I don't trust him. But I'm wondering if maybe Jack got in a spot of trouble one time, or maybe got caught in the middle of something and Futura just mowed these people down or something, just incidentally. I don't know. But Jack was like, yeah, this is useful. I like this one.
I am always useful. I love that. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Excellent. Admestus.
Yeah, so a couple of different ones I could go with. Savvy, remind me what you said about Risa's people and their belief system.
They live in a volcano. And also there's a cat.
Ghost?
They live on a mostly inhospitable planet of like volcanoes and ash and things like that, in a place where like the veil between the planes is very thin, between our plane and like an elemental plane of fire.
Okay.
And somehow it gives them powers. That's all I said.
So, because I think there are two kind of like with Braun and Admestus, there are two that I could see for Risa. I respect the beliefs of Risa, but hope they will someday see the true way, depending on how devout she is with her people's beliefs. Or Risa is a brave soul for surviving a volcano planet, and I have much to learn from them. Is one speaking to you more than the other?
For me, the second one makes more sense because I don't know if I don't want to say I don't know if it's a set of beliefs. I don't know that Risa talks about it or passes it off like it's a belief set. She's just like, we live in a volcano and it's close to the plane of fire and we have fire powers.
Sure.
So.
Also, we don't have to convert Savannah's characters every Wildspace season. Fantastic. That's awesome.
That works for me.
One thing I wanted to say real quick, Admestus, the thing that takes away your strength. Doesn't necessarily have to mean your physical strength.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be literal kryptonite.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We did Jack Nemesis. We'll do Braun.
Okay. I had a quick question before I do the one that I wanted to do. Is that I had one that I was going to do with that I thought I was going to do, but also works with Risa. But I don't know if it makes sense for us to have like identical bonds, because I have one that's I've gotten blank out of a tough spot and they owe me for it. I don't think that would. If Risa has one that says that she owes me, I shouldn't also have a bond that says that she owes me. That feels like it's doubling up on stuff, but I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, it can work because people some people have dynamics where they always feel like they owe the other person. So I'm not going to poo-poo it, but if you have something else that fits better.
Okay. Okay, then I think I'll think on that one a bit, because that one feels like it's obvious for Risa, but I want to get into the game and see maybe it might work for someone else too. Okay. I was thinking I want to do one with yeah, I'll wait on the other one. I want to do one with Ghost. I've got one that's blank does not trust me, and for good reason. And with Ghost being sort of the information hacker kind of thing, I thought that probably, even if we don't have a lot of interaction with each other, you'd probably have the most reason to trust or not trust somebody on minimal contact. I don't know what that reason might be, so I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
My only thought is I remember there being, you mentioning a bond once that was like about seeing you feed. How secretive is being a vampire?
Yeah.
Or is it very open? I can't remember from what you were saying earlier.
I know that we talked about it briefly, Ryan. And you said that we could play it in a way where it's not like I'm hiding myself like with a cowl and rushing from alleyway to alleyway.
So the way I envision it is much like you see in every Star Wars cantina scene. There's just so many different aliens, and that if you see a blue one with pointed ears, you're not going to be freaked out by that. That's going to just kind of mix in with the noise. If you do know about this species, and you do know that they might have what they feed upon, that is also not the weirdest thing in the galaxy. There are things there are plenty of creatures that subsist in ways that are fairly similar to that. I imagine that there is a human-sized mosquito creature out there with a disgusting proboscis that is probably more unnerving than the blue elfy looking thing. So go ahead.
I would say I actually have an idea that you just I kind of got from what you were saying. So one of the aspects of the vampire race in Dungeon World is that I have to feed in certain situations, or else I like have to start defying danger and stuff, and it becomes more difficult the longer I go without feeding. So I was thinking that maybe at some point during Braun's history, their long history in this city, or even outside of it, I think that there might have been a point where maybe they weren't feeding, and they were driven to a point of desperation, and maybe got in a little bit of trouble with like the law because of it, and got there's a report out there somewhere that Ghost found. So Ghost knows
2 and 2 together, maybe, but it maybe the police never put together. But
well, and I was thinking even Braun went away, because I don't know how old Braun is, but the vampires are, so he could have been in prison for 20 years, 30 years, something like that along the time. Like maybe did something really brutal and really horrible at some point back in their life, and about that.
Okay.
And maybe so that's, or we could do something secret. We could also put 2 together, but I don't see.
Depends. I mean, if if it's more fun to play as if there's this thing over your head, or I mean, if you've already paid your debt to society, then it's less of a thing that she has over you, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because I don't know if it's necessarily something.
But I guess it doesn't have to be. She doesn't have to have it. Leverage. It's just like a reason.
She doesn't trust me.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was losing this.
Trust me. Yeah.
I was losing the scope of the bond. You're right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm fine with either.
Because I'd like to go the other way because it might play into some other things that I wanted to do with Bronze backstory, that they spent some time in prison because of something like that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So Ghost knows that and is probably terrified of you secretly.
Yeah.
All right. So, Risa.
That's me. I have one, I think, for Jack. So I have one that says, they have felt the hellish touch of fire and now they know my strength. So I think Risa, salamanders have this really great thing where they can't be hurt by non-magical fire and also can use like the natural heat from their hands to like craft things and everything. And so I think Risa forgets sometimes that her hands are like really hot. And so probably got in a bit of trouble, maybe took some damage. Obviously she doesn't wear any armor or anything like that, and maybe went and saw Jack and perhaps burned Jack in a moment of pain. And probably feels really bad about it, but
I can work with this for sure.
okay.
Where how'd the burn happen? Jack, what was the burn like?
It was an interesting experience, which I think only Jack would classify it that way.
For science.
For science.
I'm kind of picturing it as like maybe Jack was doing some sort of minor surgery and being Jack about it. And then maybe Risa like kind of did that like mortal panic thing you do when you're in pain. You just like grabbed onto her like forearm, maybe.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So let's see. So everyone who had more than one has gone.
I got one for Ghost if we want another one.
Go for it.
Okay.
All right. So Futura's bond with Ghost says, if Ghost finds out my secret, I will have to come up with a solution, and it may need to be violent.
Oh boy.
All right. What is the nature of that secret?
Well, the fact that I, am owned.
Oh, your serial number. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
yeah.
She tracks down who you were purchased by. Yep. That would be bad. That would be bad for you. And she would have the ability to find that if she looked.
If she looked.
If she knew to look.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Very cool.
We'll get violent about it, though.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
That comes in conflict with my bond. Because
so-
I protect.
Oh.
And this is what bonds are meant to do. Let's see. Does anyone... I really enjoy doing this. Does anyone have any other bonds that they'd like to go over? Like anything else? Because I'm kind of interested in hearing them, if you have them.
I have one more.
Okay.
I have one for Ghost. That is, I will teach them the true meaning of sacrifice.
Okay.
I think having encountered Ghost, I think Risa sees them as maybe kind of like a kid that hides behind their computers and does all of these things and kind of is like, oh, there's way more bad stuff out there outside of your screens, little one. And
Okay.
some of us have sacrificed a lot to get to where we are. So, and I don't think she means it in a condescending way, but it probably comes off like that.
Sure. Sorry.
No, I like it. Yeah. I'm good with that.
Fantastic.
I could potentially throw another one out there.
All right.
If we're done with that one.
Sure.
So Morgan mentioned the one that I said earlier about has seen me feed as one of them, and I was thinking that I want to do something like that and sort of expand on it a bit. So I wanted to do that with Jack, but I don't know. I think I wanted to ask first if Jack, because I'm assuming there's probably some creepy experimentation things that are going to come along with this, and that's where I was thinking that this would go, and I can come up with something about that if that's the direction that that you want to go, Lindsay.
Go on.
Okay. So I was thinking it has seen me feed or somehow knows about my nature, and I can't get them to leave me alone about it, or is trying. I was also trying to come up with, like, I don't know if I want to play into the whole, like, is looking for a way to stop or like curb those habits. I don't know how deep we want to make that.
Yeah, I don't know what you want to do, but definitely I feel like Jack would very, very quickly be like, oh, do you need me to get you some blood? I can definitely do that.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about playing, like, has seen me feed and asks too many questions about it.
Oh yeah, because she'd definitely be like, so how do you metabolize that? Do you mind if, like,
Okay.
I give you this to drink and I open you up while you drink it? Like, is that cool?
Okay, maybe I'll go with I need to get them to stop asking me questions about it. Okay, I like that one. I might workshop the wording of that a bit better and get back to you on it, but I think that one goes well with Jack then.
Excellent. Let's see. Does anyone else have anything else that they would like to yip?
I think a fun one to dovetail off of that. Jack's misguided behavior endangers their very soul. And I think Admestus might take some issue with Jack having fallen from grace, and maybe views it in his mind as she wasn't strong enough to, hold her position or fight for what she thought was right, and had to retreat to the shadows. And I think there's a lot going on there, but also I think a lot of it also comes from she almost definitely tried to get him to undergo some procedure, and he's just like so affronted that he would mess with perfection.
Yes, please. Can we please? I want that bond. I want to have that bond of, like, I want to convince Admestus to let me give him a graft.
Which will never happen.
We'll see.
The great graft grift. Fantastic. All right, so I think we're gonna push pause on bonds for now. Boop. And what happens next? Let me try this instead. All right, everyone. Your group was hired to break into a secure facility to recover something. Futura. Who or what runs this facility?
I'm going to say, now when you say runs, like, do you mean like owns it? Or operates it?
I would say I'm more interested in the latter for now.
Okay. I'm going to say
feeling nasty.
I'm going to say it's an AI that operates the facility. I'm going to say their name is Meatball. They're like a security AI. And of course, security AIs all have meat names. So it's just like a thing that they do. So yeah, we're going to call him Meatball.
I'm going to push back on Meatball. And I'm going to say Filet.
Filet is fine. We can do Filet. Bobby Filet.
Because they could also fillet you.
Oh, okay. Oh, snap.
Ooh.
I need a spelling on flay so I know whether we're going fillet or flay.
Both.
Okay, that's fine.
Both. Admestus. Who hired you to do this smash and grab?
Sorry if I missed. Did Travis say when AI runs this? Did he specify anything more than that?
Not yet.
Okay. I think this might. Correct me if I'm putting too much, assuming too much of your backstory, Morgan. But maybe some of Ghost's hacker buddies are like, "Hey, we found this thing, but it requires, some meat space work, and we don't do that. But if you go and get this for us, there's a payday in it."
Excellent. That's
like
fantastic. Morgan, think of the name of that group. But while you're thinking of it, I'm going to go to the next question I have. Braun, what does this group of hacker buddies want recovered from the facility?
AI facility, hackers want it. I'm thinking a prototype. Yeah. I think like military grade, like prototype, like decryption software. Something like some like skeleton key sort of coding that's kept in the facilities like vaults or mainframe.
Fantastic. Ghost, you know the reason that your group of friends needs the skeleton key. Why?
Because it'll get them into another facility that they want. Even more than this one.
Princess in another castle. All right. Okay, so, all right. I guess that question is a little bit self-explanatory by the nature of what we're finding. So, we'll hold off on that. Do you have a name for the group yet?
No, I'm thinking of it though.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I just saw the NPC name. That's amazing. Actually, we'll just use that. The name of the group. This is an NPC name purchased by G. The name of the hacker group is called Extravagant Murder.
Oh, well then.
Oh, that
Yes.
sounds fancy.
Extravagant. Love it.
Perfect.
My EM group.
Love it. Risa, breaking into this facility is going to be particularly challenging. Why?
Say fire.
Everything's on fire. No. Well, if an AI is running it, I imagine that they have some pretty sophisticated security in this building that is will make us a lot easier to find and make our movements a lot easier to predict than regular old human security.
I'm going to go back to Future to have a kind of follow up on that question. What are a couple different security systems that they have here?
I like to think that they have these, I'm going to call them dogs, but they're not just dogs. They're like robot dogs. They're like really scary and fast. And they're all like on this like AI's system. So like the AI runs all of these scary dogs.
Okay. All right. You've got some Onos. Ono dog system that's in place. All right, fantastic.
They are actually called Oh No Dogs. That's their advertising.
Yeah.
There's like a
fantastic.
jingle. It's like, oh no, dogs. And it's like, it repeats. It's great.
It plays that while they're chewing into your belly. All right. So finally, Oh, no, maybe not Fallon, but Jack. How would you know this? Well, we'll find out. You know a secret about the skeleton key that no one else does. What is it?
Oh boy. It's not a thing, it's a person.
Love it. All right. Excellent. So, we'll circle around. Mestis, where is this taking place? Like, where in the kind of the strata of Dredge is this facility located?
I think it's relatively high up, so it's just below the level where polite society operates, so it's very close upper tier, but still underground as far as most normal people are concerned.
Below the clouds, above
But
the
still,
troll.
way up above the troll.
Yeah,
It's probably the highest that this group has ever collectively hit.
very cool. All right. Let's see. Do I have any other questions right now? Nope. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a break right now. I'm going to cobble something together. We'll be back soon, and we're going to get the skeleton key, everybody. So well done. Well
Yay!
done.
Good
See you
start.
soon.
Wildspace 2.
Welcome back to part two of Wildspace, the never-ending story. So, we're here. We did character introductions, and we are now beginning a heisticle. On the way to the facility, which is let's see, a facility. I want to have a name for this facility. And what is it, this complex? What does it look like? Or what corp now let's go back to future. What corporation is running it? Is this Violet 7? No, Violet 7 who owned you. That's not the same one. Sorry.
No. This is
Indigo 6.
Dang it.
Competitor.
The Fuchsia 4?
Maroon 5.
Pass.
I'm done. I'll go.
Just gonna pass.
All right, this is Past Tech. Let me change to heist colors. Okay. All right. Heist colors. This is good music. Is this the one I want though? I think there's another one that's even better.
Do you have any heist music with like, I don't know, some like bongos in the background, like and like we're like planning out the heist?
I want violins, so.
Okay. Because
Space.
there we go. Here's your heist music.
Love it.
Okay, this is actually really peaceful.
Yeah.
I like this. So Past Tech.
Yep.
I'm gonna say it's spelled Pastek.
Of course it is. All right. So Past Tech. All right. So you're all I'm gonna say that you all hired a driver for this. Because to fit you all in a van. Or actually, how would you like to set up your ingress? Because you're going to need a flying car.
Why?
Because this is up near the cloud line.
Oh, you're right.
You're
There's
gonna
no
have to
roads
go.
up there.
Where we're going, there are no roads. No, you could go up the building and take the. I mean, that's another option. You can go in the building and go up this elevator shafts if you prefer. And there are going to be challenges no matter which way you go. It's up to you.
What if we got jobs as a window washing company? And then just like went all the way up to the window.
Oh gosh.
That is an interesting idea. I do think
It'll only work if we all have matching uniforms. Obviously.
I think that there are probably robots that do that, like little window Roombas that take care of that stuff.
There are.
But I like where you're going with the assuming a position. If you wanted to do that, like pretend to do a job, or this is for you all. You could be discussing this. Do you want to be discussing this like at a club or something like that?
You, but sure.
All right.
Yes.
All right. We're at a club. You can discuss this.
So, I think Futura is holding a drink, but he's not drinking it. It's just got like a whiskey glass because that's what you do. Because he's being a person, and he says, "I think our best approach is through every floor below it, up to that floor. If we can just bust through the floors, then we can get to the floor we need to be at."
So,
Yes.
like, literally break them all.
Yes.
That seems a little loud.
But these many floors, they would probably catch on to us before we got to the floor we want.
He's got a point.
Plus, we'd get torn apart by dogs by the time we got up there.
Oh, yeah, the
New
dogs.
bugs
Oh,
are
yeah.
quite vicious.
I just want to say up front, if we can get one, I would like one.
One of the ducks?
Or part of one.
Listen, I think we were on the right track with the whole window washing idea, as short-lived as that might have been. Maybe some other professionals that might be there for some reason. I was thinking emergency personnel, maybe like a fire or something that'd get us in the door.
Do you want the fire? I can set the
Yeah.
fire.
Can you? I wasn't so sure.
Yes.
All right.
There's like one thing I can do.
The shade.
Ron, you know this.
Oh, trust me, I know. That was a joke.
Remember that time I set the bottom of your jacket on fire?
Yeah, I remember.
That was so funny.
That was my favorite jacket.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, remember
No,
that time
that's
you set my
character.
arm on fire?
I do. You were stabbing me with needles.
You asked me to.
But anyway, that might be a better option than busting up however many floors that we need to go.
So question remains, how do we get Risa in to set fire?
Do you want me to actually set the fire?
Can you do it from a distance?
Risa can do a lot of things with fire.
Will the fire mess up the skeleton key?
I don't think we want the whole thing on fire, just a bit of it.
Just enough to set off the alarms.
And then we go in.
Or any disguises, though.
Futura's head like cocks to the side like this. Just quizzically.
This is
We
like
can
2
just-
steps away from becoming that Firefly episode where they have to get into the hospital.
I'm okay with this.
It's exactly like that episode. I remember that too at Mestis. It's my favorite show.
So
I could probably find us some uniforms, but in future we're probably gonna have to paint you or something.
Grab some hoses, just say it's a portable water tank.
That could work.
That's
I've
not a
been
bad
painted
idea.
before.
I could paint flames on you.
Maybe something like I am emergency services. I am the jaws of life.
I like that.
That's good.
Yeah, and I think that there are emergency bots for different sort of tasks that are employed throughout Dredge, and they have a neon yellow and neon orange striping across them, not unlike reflective vests. Basically, just imagine reflective vest paint job. That Bastion skin, and that's where what you can look like. Now that because those types of robots are pretty much mass produced on the city, it shouldn't be hard to be able to track down where that paint is. You might have to steal it, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Those places aren't usually highly secure.
Okay, let's do it. And maybe I can kill someone.
Maybe.
Now, Ghost, you're the one that knows the most about this. What's it going to look like once we get inside? Do you know where we're going?
Ghost, I will give you. Yeah, you can, if you want to, you can just go ahead and explain the layout of the facility. If you want me to do it for you, I can also do that.
I just forget what kind of facility it is. Did we talk about like what is done there?
No, it's actually kind of strange that this whole facility would exist for this one thing. We'll say that it is. Oh, you were talking about there was a military grade. What it is a warehouse for military grade equipment. Like gun parts, arc core drives, like at least the parts for them, and they're all stored here. And those are, and for that reason, they're heavily guarded because they are proprietary software and hardware by the military of this planet. That's why it's so heavily guarded. The fact that the skeleton key is there is not. It's designed purpose. It's actually kind of strange that it's being held there currently. So inside you can expect massive open warehouses, but with some tall rows, not unlike a library, stacked with like crates and parts, with armatures dangling from the ceiling, kind of going back and forth, swiveling around, moving items. Like imagine an Amazon warehouse with no people.
Got it.
So like Amazon in 5 years, probably.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
there are no flesh and blood employees, is that what you're saying?
Not that Ghost is aware of. Not
Darn.
normally.
No. But there is the front offices where things get checked in and looked at.
So here's a question. If there aren't any people working there, do we need to look like first responders, or do we just need to have their credentials?
Well, they're going to have security cameras, unless you want me hacking into those.
Oh, yeah.
Fair point.
Plus, I imagine that any self-contained facility must have something on hand to deal with emergencies, so we presumably must find a way to disable that as well.
That's a good point.
I'm going to continue to flesh out the world as you're talking this. About this. As far as like there not being any people there, do you need, credentials, stuff like that? In addition to, simple like scanning of key cards, as Savannah was so kind to offer, that there is a AI running this thing, which that is has a full suite of facial recognition software that they can run against their own databases and check against things. None of this is insurmountable because you have Ghost with you, but each step that you don't have a plan for puts an extra thing on their to-do list of things that they have to hack for. So just have that in mind. Every bit of like any way that you can fake it is going to make their job easier to hack you in.
Now, an idea I just had, and let me know if this is going to make this too powerful, but with Idmesis's bodysuit thing, if he can adjust, like normally he doesn't conceal his face because why would he? But if he has it go all the way up, he can modify its appearance a little. It probably wouldn't stand up to close scrutiny, but might be able to try and, it might be within the margin of error for facial recognition.
I can see it like the bodysuit like covering up his face and just being just like essentially a mask over his face. I don't think the facial recognition would be able to pick up that it's. Well, depends on how many things, because they're taking in. It's not just like these dimensions here. It's also like shoulders, everything. And Nemesis has a particular body that is unmatched by most, and also isn't obscured by dumpy clothing on the outside. So I don't know that you'd feel super confident with that with the equipment that you have at the moment. No.
Mm-hmm.
No. Jack, what's the protocol, or Ghost, what's the protocol if the fire's bad enough that we can't take our masks off for smoke inhalation? What would the protocol for facial recognition be at that point?
I guess it would just be keycard based. So
Maybe we'd just have to get the fire bad enough to get through the front door, not bad enough to damage much inside.
Yeah, I love that. I love the like Ghost. You let them know that there are safety protocols that leapfrog several security stages if those conditions are met. So it makes your job of hacking past them easier if there is a certain state of emergency.
I mean, I like that a lot better because I was going to say I could get some faces that we could like wear, but it would take a while. Okay.
Nope.
I'm just saying your idea was better.
Yes, it was.
Okay, rude.
but it's good to have backups.
Backup faces?
Yeah.
Never thought of it like that.
I've been considering branching out, like offering insurance or something. Like, you never know what's going to happen to your limb that you currently have. Buy a new limb from Jack, you know? Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
So a lot of smoke with a lot of fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to set off the right emergency code so then we can just get in.
Risa can make that happen.
I think our biggest obstacle is still going to be those dogs.
Can set
I
them
can
on fire
handle
too?
I can handle a few no dogs. More than a few might become tricky.
I still would like one not burned. Just saying.
We'll keep one just for you, Doyen.
Thanks.
Now, I
By
guess
the way, that's my pet name for you, is Doyen. Okay, it's good.
Perfect.
Question, are Ono dogs robotic or organic or some combination cyborg thing?
We don't know.
I feel like
I don't know.
Who suggested the dogs?
Travis.
Who suggested the dogs originally?
That was me. Yeah, I would say they're mechanical, purely mechanical.
Okay. All right.
So I'll just melt them a little.
Okay. Can you? Okay. Is that okay?
One last question for Ghost, or whoever might know. What's the visual situation from the outside? Windows? They blacked out?
So since I was the one who said where it was positioned, I was actually envisioning it as being, and especially if there's military stuff, it being, kind of obscured by the natural architecture of the rest of the things. So it's not quite a black ops site or something, but it's kept very under the radar.
Yeah, and if it's for storage, I bet it doesn't have windows or light or anything.
So I'm going to have to go inside then. Damn it.
Yeah. I think that there are, for what you're thinking of, there's not going to be more than really thin, sparse windows that your sight lines would be very limited.
Yeah. So much for letting you guys do all the dangerous stuff.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'll put you back together.
Just let me stay dead.
Yeah.
Ron, you need to lighten up.
I just don't like the idea of being put together and not know where my parts are going to end up.
They're gonna go back the best way.
Jack knows where the parts go, generally.
I do know exactly where they go. I mean, I may not agree.
She's the best.
Thank you.
Well, at Mestis, do we want to go work over some firefighters then and get us some gear?
Sounds like a good way to spend our afternoon.
I will help.
All right.
I will watch.
So you, so you all. I'll say you all gather your equipment and everything. These are abstracted in the system with your adventuring gear whenever you needed to use them. So you don't have to necessarily think of them beforehand. So let's. Is there anything else that anyone want to do in prep for this heist?
I'm wondering if now might be a time to give myself a quest as the paladin.
I think so.
So when you dedicate yourself to a mission through prayer and ritual cleansing, state what you set out to do. And I think in this case, it would be discover the truth of the skeleton key.
Okay.
And because the options are slay blank, erase blank, land, defend blank from the iniquities that set them, or discover the truth of blank. So I think, discovering, the quest to get the skeleton key, and I think that one fits best.
Fantastic.
Choose up to 2 boons. And I'm trying to think here. I think one of the ones I would want is an unwavering sense of direction to the skeleton key.
All right. Excellent.
And I'm wondering if I want to give myself invulnerability to something, or
okay,
whether I want, because another one is a mark of divine authority, and if I could maybe use that to help us bypass some of the last few security systems.
God hacking.
God hacking.
But
I like the idea of that. I'm scared to do it.
Is he going to use the Bible code?
Or the Da Vinci Code.
Or the Da Vinci code?
if not, I can just give myself an invulnerability to either fire or the claws or teeth of the Ono dogs.
So tell me once again what it says, like for the other thing, for the God hacking.
A mark of divine authority.
Okay. I think if we were going to do it it would be different if you were going to be strolling into a place with a bunch of organics.
Yep.
I think since you're going into a facility that is strictly run by an AI, I think I'd give you like ammo of 1 where you can do like one thing. That completely supersedes logic and reason, where you could impress your will or your divine will upon whatever it is. I can swing that once, I feel like.
Yeah, that might be stretching it a bit. It would make more sense for organic. So I think in this case, just because we're assuming enough fire that it's going to be super smoky, I think just immunity, invulnerability to fire for the duration of this quest. Now,
smart.
The next part, the GM will then tell you what vow or vows is required of you to maintain your blessing. And the options it gives are honor, temperance, piety, valor, truth, and hospitality. And I think you pick one of them, and it has in parentheses, honor.
Can you print that in chat?
Yes, let me see how this, let me just roll it.
I love this move.
Yep, but so honor, I can't use cowardly tactics or tricks, which might make the pretending to be emergency services a little tricky. Temperance, forbidden gluttony in food, drink, and pleasure of the flesh. Piety, required observance of daily holy services. Valor, forbidden the suffering and evil creature to live. Truth, forbidden lies. And hospitality, I need to give comfort to those in need no matter who they are.
I'm going to say, because I want to know what they are for you, I'm going to say piety.
Okay.
and Valor.
All right. I'm trying to figure out where would be a good place on my sheet to mark this.
I do not know.
Yeah. I'll just put it in my notes for now.
Okay. Piety and Valor. I'm super interested to know what your observance of daily holy services are.
I mean, it's just 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and 100 crunches, bro.
But when?
100 sit-ups.
Every 10 minutes, you gotta do that.
100 push-ups.
All right. Excellent. So, all right. So that's Admestus. Anyone else have any pre-game rituals?
I had a question. Helsing has one of their strengths is camouflage. Haven't decided how I want to interpret that yet. Could we? I was either thinking some sort of like actual like blending and like cloaking, or it might be more fun if they have like a minor like shape shifting, and I could make them into like an inanimate object of the same size. They could turn into like a backpack or something that I can just wear into the bank or into the facility.
I'm going to say that instead of that, just because of the nature of what Helsing is, I'll give you two options where you can have a kind of Helsing because they're this kind of extra dimensional creature in a way. Mm-hmm. Maybe they can slip in and out at will, rendering them for all intents and purposes invisible. Or you could do a thing where the shape of Helsing can change, and it won't necessarily look like an inanimate object, but it can like change. You can change it to like a mouse or a squirrel or another animal of that kind of like. Because aren't they kind of like a rainbow-ish thing, right? I mean, they could also, or they could just go to, I'm also okay with them just going to vapor, honestly. Just like looking like a little kind of like ghostly vapor cloud that doesn't really register in people's.
Yeah, let's go with the vapor thing. I actually really like that.
Okay, cool. Cool.
As much as I want the dog backpack, I'm okay with that for a second.
Perfect. Excellent. Ghost? Risa? Jack? Anything?
Not like prep stuff. Although, sorry. None of these are like flavored towards hacking yet. I've just got the basic thief moves in here.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they can be applied.
The I think the trap expert will what's your int, by the way? Is it comparable to your dex?
No, but I mean I could switch them. Right now dex is 16 and int is 15. So it's 2 versus 1.
Okay.
It makes more sense to switch them then.
Well, I don't want to like gimp your character. That's not the right term for it. Sorry. We'll probably use Dex for now. We'll use Dex for now, even if like intelligence makes sense. Yeah.
I just type really, really fast.
Right, exactly. We'll just use it that way. We'll say like the intelligence itself is just a given, and it's like about the speed in which you can do it.
A dexterous mind.
Yeah. So, which it doesn't always make sense, but for now, let's just do it. Cool. So, let's see. Anything else? Jack? No? Risa? No?
Really, I don't know why I'm here, except for like, make sure you don't die.
I mean, that's a pretty good reason.
Yeah.
You just seemed like you wanted something to do.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I have any moves I can do. I just want to make sure I have something to cover my face and a water skin full of water. And Risa's ready to go.
All right. Excellent. So I think you probably find a Vendobot that are these kind of like conical robots that are kind of walk around like crabs, like hermit crabs with these like spider legs going through the city, offering beverages to people. And you buy a 2-liter of water or something like that, like this, like an aqua okea, something like
Teresa, give me a diet schlorp.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are you drinking diet because you think you are fat?
I just can't tolerate the sugar.
You know, they put aspartame in the diet one.
That doesn't really bother me.
Oh, yeah. Does it not? Like, squints, gets uncomfortably close.
I really don't want to go into this right now. You can take a blood sample later if you want.
I will hold you to that.
Oh, great. We're back again with part 3 of part 2 of Wildspace. We're planning a heist, y'all, still. But now the heist begins. Thank you for hanging out with us despite the brief technical difficulties. And we are going into the next part now. Thank you so much for the team for figuring out everything, especially Savannah with her wizardry skills. Yay! But we're back. So it begins. You've left the nightclub, so we'll go back to bam, 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 whatever this music is. Yeah. As you all make your way towards the facility, do you all travel together?
Are we? So we're all in uniform, right?
Yeah, all in uniform, a fresh coat of stinking paint on Futura.
Have we stolen a hover fire truck from the fire people?
That's what I was about to ask too.
The fire people, yes. Were there?
It's not firemen anymore. It's fire people or person.
Were there casualties? The fire people station.
Oh.
That is a good question. Aren't we supposed to roll at some point?
No, don't ask that.
I don't know. I was
okay.
I think it.
All right, we'll say. All right. Are you trying to? Well, no. Are you trying to avoid murdering people?
No.
For this stage of things.
For this start,
Who is in charge of the fire station heist? Gosh.
I'd like to take charge and avoid murder.
Okay.
I was just gonna watch.
Yeah, since I came up with this idea.
Futura would defer to Jack whether or not he would attack something.
Okay. So
Well,
Braun,
I mean, if you need to.
Yes.
Braun, you are heading up this heist. What is the method you use to take a fire truck?
Bribery is what I'd hopefully go for.
Not setting it on fire.
Okay, you have a good amount. How many credits do you have?
I don't have a lot. Bribery can take a lot of forms.
Wait.
Okay.
What are we offering?
Well, if I couldn't,
It matters what you're doing because it will reflect on what I asked you to roll.
Okay. Could I? Here's an idea that I have then, and I don't know whether this will work, and I'm probably not the one that should be doing this. So, but
you took point.
Yeah.
Rip.
My idea is.
There with him.
Are you there? Okay. All right.
My idea is if we can get to the firefighters, and I don't know what the setup of the station is, but get them maybe away from the fire truck, or get like whoever might be standing watch, if they have someone standing watch, isolate somebody, and try to like schmooze talk them up a bit, get them to maybe leave their post for a moment so that somebody else can grab the truck and the gear that's probably in the truck or near it and make like a bunny. So I could either just like straight up flirt with somebody, which
Yes,
was my
please.
initial
I want to
instinct.
hear this.
All right.
I mean,
So, do you have a move for flirting specifically?
do I? No.
Roll to
No,
flirt.
it sounds
I
like
have
a
hunt
vampire
and
thing.
track.
But does
how much
Sean
will
have a
that-
move for flirting?
Okay, so
Well, he's married, so
so no.
So no.
Well, that has been stricken. All right, so here's what I'm gonna have you do. Roll defy danger charisma.
That's a bad idea. Okay.
First roll of the campaign.
All right. Come on. I have a +0 to charisma, so this is gonna go. I rolled double ones.
That's a good start.
All right.
I love this image. No, we're not going to kill anyone. I'm just going to talk to him.
I can't believe.
Did you end up
Fake
killing
eyes.
one of them?
I win.
It
You talk with them
goes
to death.
bad. You go talk to them, and they're like, "Sir, you cannot be here. You cannot be here." Like,
It's probably really.
do you know somebody here? What are you doing? Like, this is a restricted area. I need you to back away. And
I just always wanted to see a fire station in person. I was hoping for a tour, if you wouldn't mind. But
who's jacking the truck while Braun is trying this?
I think Edmestus is attempting to, and also realizing, wait, why are we letting the uncharismatic one do the talking?
you don't know that. I might be the most out of you. Probably know that at this point.
All right, so you're getting behind the console of the fire hover truck for the. All right. Immediately, I think the alarms go off.
So is there a workout routine? Oh shit!
As there is a real fire that needs to be fought.
He's
And
okay, I am immune to fire, I go!
And the entire station comes alive as firefighters of different species and organic and inorganic form begin to flood into the through the station, going down poles and flipping off boxes. Who knows? And then heading towards the truck as currently at Medicus, you're trying to find the keys to get this thing going, trying to like get the jump start and sequence to get this thing moving. And as they see you and see that you sitting there, and they could push past you, Braun, and they find Edmestus. There's a look of shock on their face. And then someone seems to go for a calm. What do you do?
I want to, I know you said we should try and do narrative stuff, but I have this move, I am the law. When you give an NPC an order based on your divine authority, roll plus charisma, and if I succeed, I get to make them do stuff.
Perfect. So describe what this looks like as you pull.
So I think whenever Edmestus
Or try to
does this, it goes, or at least when it succeeds, it goes a bit like Galadriel when she's trying to take the ring, and so it's like this super glowy form, gets larger than life a bit, but I think Edmestus just tries to tap into this ability of his, and
okay. So I'm gonna say you kind of like pull yourself out of the truck, maybe get onto the hood of it and stand up, kind of like cutting an imposing figure. Roll it.
All right. Hopefully this goes better.
Hard to imagine going worse.
That is 7 + 2 for 9.
All right.
So on a 7+, they choose one. Do what you say, back away cautiously, then flee, or attack you. Which seems odd that happens on a mixed success.
Well, I think sometimes like you want to taunt and like draw aggro. So, but yeah. So okay, cool. So,
what I'm saying is, good people, I have need of this fire truck. It will serve a glorious purpose.
Okay. So
I trust you.
I think as this kind of divine energy kind of emits from your impressive figure, a kind of like swell of divine energy sweeps out throughout the room, and everyone's just kind of like stunned and shocked for a moment. And then they begin to kind of slowly regain their senses, and they begin to like scramble towards the other trucks that are also in the garage, and then just like they're not really sure what to process about what just happened, but they know that they gotta go to the fire that's happening right now, and they're not gonna mess with you or your truck.
This is not my truck forever. We'll see how long we manage to hold on to this.
So you back into Braun, and Braun kind of is next to you. And,
I'm probably with the fire. No, I want to be with like the fireman that initially confronted him. If he's not like running at this point, does he work here? What's going on? I don't understand how any of this works.
It's like just like, I can't help you, and then just carries on past you.
All right, well, call me then.
All right, so you take the truck and kind of slowly pull it out of the garage, and you pick up
Jack
the rest
is standing on the side of the road, just like hitchhiking.
Yeah, we go to pick up all our friends.
All right.
Are we friends?
Our compatriots, our comrades.
And then you begin to ascend higher and higher above the terrestrial floor of Dredge. That's where you're headed. Ooh, that's a hard loop right there. So before long, you approach the facility. There's a dark cloud cover overhead that is kind of flowing around the spire itself, like a ghostly ocean. You find a area to land the truck nearby. What do you do?
So I think while the heist was happening, Ghost was sort of like peering into the system and trying to make sure, like trying to find out if there's like any sort of like schedule or anything. Just trying to like make sure that they're not going to be surprised. But yeah, I was trying to sort of assess the situation. Is that it? No, it's called Discern Realities.
Okay, so you're trying to determine if there's anything scheduled that would what?
Like that, like if there's any, it's supposed to be any sort of like shipments or anything particular happening on this evening.
Okay. Let me actually, that was a premature question for me to ask. Let me, yes.
Well, I think Ghost connections to, what was the name of it? I wrote it down. The Extravagant Murder.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they probably gave the EM people gave Ghost like a code to sort of like a backdoor sort of like into the system to sort of start peering around, but then is probably going to have to in order to push further, he's going to have to bust out the hacking skills.
Excellent. So go ahead and roll me Discern Realities.
Oh, okay.
Which is a whiz roll.
Wisdom. And because I'm a professional, when I discern realities about criminal activities, I get a +1.
Very nice.
8.
An 8. Excellent. On a 7 to 9, you get to ask one question of those 6.
Okay.
Now those options 2 to 4 or 2 to 4 seem the most appropriate for what you were just talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what should I be on the lookout for?
Okay.
Kind of makes sense for what I was trying to peek around and do.
Yeah, excellent. So what you should be on the lookout for is every 15 minutes, there is a small window of time you've noticed where the packs of Ono dogs that roam throughout the facility, where you found a slight gap in their patrol paths that you might be able to slip in really quickly if you time it exactly right.
Got it.
All right. Well, we're having some fun technical difficulties tonight. We believe Travis will be back soon. We'll see. His internet might have gone down, but we're going to keep barreling ahead. So I'm answering the question, what should I be on the lookout for? We answered that. There's a slight...
there's a window every 15 minutes or so.
15 minutes. What do you do, Ghost?
Well, I think I found a way in, but we're going to have to time it almost perfectly. There's a gap in between.
Perfection is what I do.
That's what we're going to need. But yeah, there's a gap in the patrols. We can just try to sneak on in.
Is that before or after we set fire?
I forgot about the fire part.
Yeah, it's going to be a little weird if we roll up in their in a fire truck if there's no fire. Maybe 2 squads. Risa drops off first.
I can go in by myself.
I could also come along if you want help, seeing as I am immune to fire for the next bit.
Okay.
You're immune to fire?
Yes, it is one of the things my goddess blesses me with.
It's not that
Oh, yeah.
magical. I'm immune to fire all the time, but...
Well, us mere mortals are usually very flammable.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm pretty interested in that ability you got there.
No touching.
Maybe later.
No.
Okay.
Let us go, Risa.
I don't have adventuring gear, but I'm assuming somebody does, so we could potentially have like walkie-talkies or something.
I have some.
I do too.
Okay,
Yeah. So the way this...
some way to contact you and let you know when the window opens.
Yeah, so the way this works is that... It's pretty expensive to require everyone to use an adventure gear. I will say, like, if you want to be able, but I will do it anyway. If you want to have a walkie-talkie, you have to use one of your adventuring gear uses to have one. I would say because you're splitting up into just like 2 groups, you don't all need one necessarily. But yes, it will cost a use of your gear.
Or could we say if we just spend one now, we just have communications for the foreseeable future until something...
Yeah, unless something happens to your equipment, yes.
I'll definitely burn one because I think that'll be useful for me in the long run, being a sniper.
Mm-hmm. Risa, do you have adventure?
I do, yeah. I'll use one of mine too, so we can have one on each side, and then we'll just hang on to them.
Perfect.
For the future.
It's the future.
Talkie. Value. Priceless. I'm adding a sweat sheet.
Walkie-talkie or comm device? How or is this?
I
Like
put walkie-talkie, but that's just because that's what I want to call it. Plus, I want to hear Mesta say walkie-talkie in that accent.
Walkie-talkie.
Fair. I'm good with that.
It also could be a flabby blabby or any number of different fun devices.
Runny tonguey.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
no,
No.
no. Okay. So we go.
Sneaky speaky. All right.
That's good.
Perfect.
All right. So, so you have 2 groups now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll say Futura is just on ready to go into kill mode whenever. And which group are they with?
My group.
Okay.
Yeah, I would imagine with the truck for now.
So, sorry, tell me the groups because I missed that part.
Me and Edmistus are a group.
Okay.
Everyone else is in the
else.
truck.
Ad and Rissa, and then the truck.
Yeah, we're waiting for the fire, then we'll go in.
Ghost, Ron, Futura, and Jack. Okay. All right. Excellent. And you're all, and the four of you in the truck are wearing the uniforms of the firefighters of Dredge City.
Stink.
Rissa and Edmestus, you don't need to be wearing a disguise if you don't wish to be, but are you? I'm just asking.
I don't wish to be.
Yeah, these are the two party members least inclined to disguise.
We super do not wish to be.
Okay, excellent.
We are very
right.
proud of how we look.
Can I send Helsing with them and then
Yes.
scope down and watch them as they enter? Can I get a line of sight at least until they enter the building?
Sure. So who is making the first move? Which team?
We are.
They are.
Yeah, we're gonna go in and set a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm waiting till there's a break in the patrol and then alert them. Then they go in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And imagine we're going into like an air vent or air duct or something.
Ugh, climbing. Edmistus, I don't want to climb.
I can carry you if you would prefer.
Okay.
Hold on tight.
Come
And now I
on,
guess I'm just
come on,
wearing
Helsing.
a backpack.
A very,
I'm trying-
very warm backpack.
I'm trying to think about how large these air vents need to be for an unmanned facility, but we'll say just exactly a greased Edmestus size. Just precisely that. So it's gonna take a little bit of like scooching and booching to get your way through. Rissa, you being much smaller than Amestus and in all categories, will have much easier time in the vents than he will. But Amestus, you find yourself a vent and just kind of like wrench the grating free and toss it off as it kind of like pitches out into the open air and like falls down 1 billion miles or however much it is. And you make your way through. Who is first in the vent?
You are.
Okay. So you just got a face full of Edmestus butt, Arissa, as
Everyone wins.
as he tries real hard to kind of squirm through the hole. So cool. So this is going to take a while because Edmestus is not really well suited for this form of ingress. What is the truck team doing while they're waiting?
Got any sixes? No, I'm playing by myself again, I guess.
He's like, go fish.
I'm playing solitaire then. And I look
He's
at
like, wait, you're playing solitaire? Do you say you have any sixes to yourself, or to the pile that you haven't gone through yet? What is this?
It's space solitaire. It's a whole different room.
I thought he was trying to play Go Fish and no one answered him, so he was like, fine, I'll play solitaire.
I didn't get that it was Go Fish. I was like, what?
That's what I was trying to do.
You should have kept me in the truck.
I'm okay with Jack not knowing the rules of Go Fish.
Yeah, I'm just staring at my hand.
It's the one that has a 6 on it.
Oh, no.
All right, then I draw. Your turn.
It's bluffing a thing in this game.
No, wait. I don't want to play this anymore.
All right, excellent. All right, so you make your way through the vents, fire team. What are you going to do? Like, what are you looking for? When are you going to hop out of vents?
I actually have unerring sense of direction to the skeleton key right now.
Okay, you do. Is that what you're trying to get to right now, or are you trying to find a place to start a fire?
Yeah, I'm using it to help us find a place that would to put us in an advantageous position to start the fire, and probably also getting some guidance from Ghost, who I would assume is,
she's
monitoring our position through the vents.
Yeah, they probably like fitted you up with like all the schematics for the place. Okay, so I think they take you to a part of the facility that has many materials that are flammable, that burn quickly, and also create a tremendous amount of smoke immediately. The particular chemical makeup of that item. And then you get there, and Rissa, you're kind of peering through the vents, and you see these rows of crates. It looks like these made of plastic with metal latches holding everything shut. What do you do? Like right now, you're suspended above the floor below. You're quite a distance away, about 30 feet. But there are shelvings that go almost all the way up to the ceiling. So you could potentially get out of the vent and climb down the shelves if you wanted to do that. Or what do you want to do?
Or I'm waiting, reminding myself, even though I want to set everything on fire, to wait for Ghost's signal. But I will. Mistress, can you lower me down?
Yes. How do your people feel about being held by the tail? Or is that not a first date question?
Not great, but I also don't want to fall, so... My tail's very strong.
Then I shall lower you as low as I can. But we're not quite in a position to get out any rope at the moment.
This is a very good place to set the fire. Okay, I'll wait for Ghost's signal.
And I think during this time, the message is slowly removing, the vent, the thing that will allow us to get into the room.
Okay. I think as you're in the middle of this process, you hear in the distance this kind of like whirring and clinking as a roving pack of Ono dogs begins to clunk, 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 clunk in the distance.
You guys are clear.
Are you ready, Risa?
Okay, let's go. And I imagine like Mission Impossible.
Okay.
Crouch out for the vent.
All right. What is that a move of the immolator? Do you have something to release the Kraken of fire? Or what is that?
No. So I have well, everything I have is fire. But I was going to use the heat that I can use from my hands, which is hot enough to craft metal objects, based on my move handcrafted, to set some stuff on fire.
Jeez Louise.
That's a move I have. It's called handcrafted. You can use your hands in place of tools and fire to craft metal objects. So I'm going to use that in conjunction with the water that I brought with me in case things start burning too hot to make it make more smoke.
Jeez Louise. That is very, very warm. Okay, so we'll say you can, with a little bit of swinging from Admestus, you can grab the side of a shelf and like a one container in particular that has, according to Ghost's instructions, this material inside that is highly flammable. And you place your hand on it, and you want to roll me that move? If it is a roll?
I don't think it's a roll. I think it
just
does.
It
just do. I can just make my hands that hot.
Okay. Well,
it just does.
It sets on fire. I should have before I did anything, I should have had a Yep, go ahead.
I do have a move. I want to try to... So I do have a move that I want to try to use so I can control where it's going a little bit and make sure it kind of gets everything in the room that I want it to get, like, or like gets around to all the shelves. It's called Zuko style.
Okay.
I was so hoping that was the movie.
That's what it's called. So when you bend flame to your will, roll plus wisdom. So I roll, and then as long as the fire has fuel to burn, I can make it take any shape or movement that I want.
Oh, God.
I have to roll for this one.
All right, roll for it.
That's an actual roll. Oh, that's right. 9. So the effect is short-lived. But I just want to take a moment to take the fire that I started and sort of direct it like in a ring around the room to make sure it kind of hits all the tall things that are near the smoke detectors.
So immediately, the room very quickly, it's so quiet. That fire is so quiet. It was so loud in my ears earlier. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. That is a problem for another day. The room erupts in flames, and these boxes kind of burst open. The metal latches like pop open, and this fuming green smoke begins to pour out as this fire begins to weirdly drip out of the crates and spill down like a shower of flaming, like a waterfall of flame, basically, as it trickles down these shelves. And you guide it with this ability, like kind of pulling it over in this almost a slow, like spiral pattern. However, right when it gets towards the bottom, the flames themselves get just a little bit beyond what you're able to control, and then boom, it just bleeds out very quickly and like starts to spread across the floor. The room is beginning to flood with smoke, and Admestus is, I believe, coughing a bit, unless you have some reason why you don't.
I mean, I don't know if the invulnerability to fire would also include smoke.
I was going to ask the same thing.
If not, what I can do is have the bodysuit actually go above my face and hopefully provide at least some filtration.
Let's do that. Yes, let's do that. We'll say you're not immune to asphyxiation, but you can mitigate it temporarily with your bodysuit, as this kind of nanofibers kind of like cover over your face and block out at least the initial brunt of this wave of smoke.
So I'm going, pull me up!
The alarms begin to screech throughout the facility. Some sprinklers begin to come down and like spray onto the flames, but this chemical compound is too it is essentially water retardant, and it just will burn straight through it. The alarms sounding from inside, the fire truck team is alerted. What do you do?
Oh, well, we can't go right away, because then it'll seem like we were waiting outside.
What's the average response time for... Well, we can't wait too long, because then the actual professionals will show up, so...
Just give me a minute. And also, Ghost walks up to both of you guys and be like, I need your picture. Hang on. Chink, camera.
Literally, Jack's pictures are going.
It's a security thing. Don't worry about it. And then, I'm assuming, well, we got a lot of fancy gear. So the camera is like taking a 3-dimensional shot of them and is like inputting their photos into the security system just in case it wants to scan their faces.
I like it. I want to have you roll for it.
Okay.
We're gonna say this. Do you have a trap expert roll, right?
I do.
Let's roll that, because this is mainly, which I think that's applicable. Let me look at the
yeah. It says when you spend a moment to survey a dangerous area. I get a certain number of hold if I roll well.
What do the holds say, real quick?
Is there a trap here? And if so, what activates it? What
Okay,
does the
that
trap
might
being
not.
activated? What else is hidden here?
Okay. Let's roll a defy danger intelligence. That's what
Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that. That was a really cool roll. I should pick. Okay, intelligence. Let's see. 9.
Okay. Yeah, cool. So a 9. All right. So I think
danger.
yes, on defy danger. I think what you've done is you're able to establish these kind of ghost profiles, or I'll come up with another name for it if we'd like, but I kind of like ghost profiles for now.
Yeah, I like it.
Basically, they will hold up for a bit, but under any scrutiny, they'll, it'll be quite transparent what's going on. So you think that they'll be able to get into the facility without immediate repercussions, but it's not something they can rely on forever.
Okay. All right. Well, it's been a minute. Maybe we should go in now.
Well, I mean, I guess so.
All right, suit up then.
All right, so you suit up into these firefighter uniforms, and you go through this access hatch on the side that kind of opens up these cameras that and sensors that have noticed your approach have already scanned your credentials as you make your way forward, and the hatch opens itself up to you. And also emerging from the sidewalks are fire hydrants that kind of slip up from the ground and allowing you to hook up to the truck. You ignore those and make your way straight into the facility where there is a fire raging and smoke is beginning to billow and collect on the top half of the warehouse. What do you do?
Ah, jeez.
And just keep moving forward. Ghost will follow your lead.
It's this way.
Okay, Ghost pulls up a kind of a holographic projection of the warehouse schematics, and you all follow as they lead you moving through quickly. You make your way away from the fire and the smoke long enough as to get to several storage containers. These containers are pretty nondescript, but Ghost, this is where the location of the skeleton key has led you.
I think it's in one of these containers.
I get on my comm and say, Admistus, Risa, where you at?
Coming our way.
I mean, with Admistus's ability to know where the skeleton key is probably heading that way. Unless there's a bamboozle and the skeleton key isn't here and he's taking them somewhere else. Ryan's now thinking about it.
Okay.
Bamboozle.
So you're taking him toward this skeleton key, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, you meet up. The intel was good, apparently. But the time it takes you to get there, what have you, the rest of you, what were you doing in the meantime? Waiting, I'm assuming you weren't waiting for them to show up. What were you doing?
Yeah, I was probably going to try to pick a lock and open one of the crates up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just one by one?
How many did you say there were?
I did not. There are 6.
Just gonna start with the first one and see, because they're also very curious what's inside.
What's the locking mechanism like?
Multiple.
That doesn't help me.
It
Helps
remains
me.
to be seen. Techie.
Darn.
Magnetic locks.
Darn.
All right, go ahead and roll me a lockpick thing. I think it's tricks of the trade.
Yeah. Okay, it's Dex. Ooh. 11.
11. All right, excellent. Okay. So I'm going to say that you get 2 of them open quite quickly. I need you to pick 2 numbers between 1 and 6.
Okay. How about 3 and 4?
Okay. So you fling open 2 of the containers, and inside or one of them is empty, and the other one has just seems like leftover parts from a scrapped some sort of equipment that you actually don't really know what its original purpose was for. It looks like you see some like compressors here and there. You're not, but in tubes, but you're not really sure what they're used for. There are still 4 containers left as Admestus and Rissa arrive. However, they are not the only ones who arrive. As a roving pack of Oh-No dogs stumbles upon the party.
Oh no!
Clank, 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 clank. 4 Oh-No dogs in a mechanical growl leap towards you all. What do you do?
Admestus would like to start with his sense of direction, indicating which of the containers has the skeleton key in it.
Container 6.
And then we'll leap into the fray and attempt to go mano a dago with the Ono dogs.
Okay.
Get him.
Sounds like a hack and slash. Give me roll plus strength.
Okay. That's 13.
Good boy.
Roll
Yeah.
double 6s plus 1.
All right.
Wow.
So hack and slash. If you, I'll show it to you. When you attack in melee, 10 plus, you deal damage to the enemy and avoid their attack. And at your option, you can choose to do an additional D6 damage, but expose yourself to their attack. So,
Do I need to decide that before or after rolling damage?
I would say, I don't know. I don't care. Either way, that's fine. But it will be before I tell you the result of it for sure.
Yeah. Well, for now I'll go with avoiding the attack. That's a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll stick with avoiding the attack for now.
Okay. So, you with your fists, how are you approaching this?
Yes. And I do technically have through equipment from the base paladin stuff a longsword, which gives me +1 damage. I don't know if that's just something with the nano suit, extra strength.
Yeah, let's do it that way. For sure.
So it is close quarters combat. So probably lunging in with a few quick jabs and strikes, very nimbly dodging out of the way as well, though, turning inside their bites and stuff.
Okay. All right. So would you say 5 damage?
+1 for equipment.
1, so 6. Okay. So you go through and you grab this as this robo dog gnashes at you. You put 2 hands like on its jaws, keeping it from like biting down to you, and just with a mighty wrench, you split its jaws straight in half, and the pieces scattering in either direction.
Gives them a jawbone.
So as this happens, the others kind of like see this and give a little bit of a berth and start to go at your comrades. What do y'all do?
I would like to summon my burning brand weapon and fight one of the doggos.
Okay.
So I conjure a weapon of pure flame.
Okay.
Cool.
Rolling plus Constitution. That's an 8. So the way this works is I get to use my intelligence when attacking with it instead of strength or dexterity. The weapon always has the fiery, touch, dangerous, and 3 uses tags. And then if I roll an 8, I get to pick an extra. So I'm going to pick thrown. And I want to summon throwing knives made of fire. And throw one at a dog.
Okay. You said a lot of things. Okay, so thrown. And then it does what kind of? Oh, you use your intelligence, and then
yes. So it's fiery, touch, and dangerous, and it's got 3 uses.
Touch, and dangerous.
And then if I roll a 7 to 9, I get to put an extra tag on it, and if I roll a 10, I get to add an extra 2 extra tags.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do with the tag dangerous. I'm gonna say, go ahead, roll your damage.
Okay, that's a 3.
All right, so you roll 3 damage, and go ahead and roll me a d6.
Oh no.
Actually, wait! Don't read the result. Sorry, we'll make this. So, the way you throw it, you can either the hot searing knives are either going to cause this thing to parts of it to explode outward, damaging your comrades, or you throw it in a way that won't halt its approach as it comes to you and takes a bite out of you. So the damage you roll next, we'll have you re-roll damage, but it's either going to come at you or the people next to the dog.
It can come at me.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay. What am I rolling?
D6.
Okay. Well, that's a 1.
All right.
I rolled a 6 last time.
So,
oh, jeez.
Some of the Ono dog's armor gets a bit melted as you burn into it. It does take a bit, and it's quite damaged, but it barrels through this kind of molten red hot robo dog as it bites into your leg at the thigh, and it's holding on to you.
Ow.
As this is going on, the rest of you seeing this, what do you do?
I give out a loud whistle, and I think Helsing appears and lunges at the one that is attacking Risa right now, and I will take a shot at the one that is attacking her.
Okay.
And I think while I grab the rifle off my back, and it sort of telescopes outward into its full extended state.
I like that, yeah.
And let off a shot. So I guess that's just a volley.
Yeah. Sounds like a volley.
Which is Dex. Okay. Anything better than a 2? Ooh, double 5. So that's 10 plus 2 is 12.
Excellent. So deal damage.
All right.
I don't know what the real good roll for volley is.
I just don't have any bad effects. I just get to deal my damage without.
There's no cool option for volley.
Unfortunately, not.
Bummer. Well, let's think of one later.
Oh, and I forgot. Actually, that's a 13 because I got a +1 because Helsing is helping me. But yeah, 4 points of damage.
So that's going to take this Ribadog out. So describe what that looks like as that occurs.
So I think Helsing kind of leaps onto its back and sort of rolls over, causing it to dislodge from Risa. And as it kind of skids across the floor and begins to stand back up, I use that moment to take a shot straight, head hitting the forehead or whatever the head construction for this dog is. Yeah, and blow it up. And then I look back over my shoulder towards Ghost and I say, can you get it open? I think we got these pretty well in hand.
All right.
And I think a few of the teeth of the Robo-Dog are still lodged in your thigh, Risa. The head exploded, but parts of the teeth are still in there.
Cool.
All right, so cool. Ghost, what do you do?
He pointed to number 6, so I'm gonna try to open that one.
Okay, roll me to trade, I think is what it is. And Jack, while Ghost moves towards the container and starts trying to open it, what do you do?
I think Jack hesitated for a bit, looked at Future, looked at the case, I'm pretty sure he could rip the top off of this, but also he said he wanted to kill something. And so he's probably looking at Jack like, you have to give me the okay to kill something. And so she just goes, yep, and then just takes a defensive stance.
Okay.
With, just flips her bone saw out and is like, if anyone comes at me, I'm going to cut its head off.
All right, so what we're going to do, I think we're going to make this a parlay. So roll me. Sure? Yep, I'm sure. I'll give you a +1 because of the nature of your relationship.
Oh, good. That means I get 0.
All right, so roll charisma.
Great. That's a 4.
Okay, so I think for now, I don't want to speak for Travis's character. We're just gonna say in all the instead of trying to instead of me trying to say that oh yeah, you get an XP if you fail a roll. I haven't been saying that this whole time, but there's been a couple failed rolls today. Just make note of that. Instead of trying to come up with motivation why Futura wouldn't follow that command, what I'm going to do is say that just with all the melee and the sounds of the sirens, Futura didn't really hear what you were saying, and just sees you
Yeah, to be fair, I didn't really say anything. I said, yeah,
Yeah, gesturing and just doesn't quite get the explicit command. What did you roll for Tricks of the Trade, Ghost?
I rolled an 8.
8. Excellent. So, what's the condition for that?
I do it, but the GM will offer you 2 options between suspicion, danger, or cost.
Okay.
So I do it, but it's at a cost.
Okay, suspicion, danger, or cost. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. What it's gonna do is this particular crate is way different from the other crates. There are some ancillary or tertiary systems that are surrounding the locks for this, and they are immediately fighting against you and your decryption methods. Given the time constraints that you're under, you have an option to flood these kind of protocols that are running to stop your hack attempt, but doing so is going to burn out your tool, your Omni tool, or the thing that you're using.
Yeah.
And so it's going to basically the cost is one of your adventuring gear is just gonna you're gonna burn one, and you're not gonna have any for the rest of this encounter.
Well, I don't have any.
Well, you don't have any?
I don't have any. No, that wasn't part of my thing.
I think that's not,
unless I read it wrong.
I think you might have, because I had some when I was a thief.
Okay. Well, all right. So I maybe burned one of those. So
we'll just say you can't hack anything for the rest of the encounter, and we won't speak any more of it. Until you buy a new adventuring pack, basically.
Okay.
Cool. So that's your choice. Otherwise, it will take a long time inviting more RoboDog attacks.
Okay. Yeah, they're probably stressed out about this, and we gotta get out of here, and these dogs are freaky. So yeah, I was gonna flood the system. I'm gonna use up that. I'm not gonna be able to hack anymore.
Okay. No more hacking from Ghost for the rest of the encounter. Excellent. But the door flies open, and what you see at the very back of the container, a small figure, humanoid, kind of olive skin with neon tattoos all over on their face, strange sort of skull. They look at you with terror. What do you do? As the rest of the group is fighting the robodogs.
I did talk about this earlier, but Ghost's helmet has like an LCD screen in it, so it's gonna pop up with a question mark. And then it's gonna be like, hello? And like try to talk to him, be like, are you supposed to be in here?
They say nothing. They just cower and scoot further back into the container.
I turn around and be like, hey guys? Jack?
Oh, yeah?
It's a person?
Yeah. Oh, did I not mention that before?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's a person.
Oh, okay. Well...
Are they alive in there?
I think so. They didn't answer me.
Oh. Okay. I can give it a go.
You gonna try to coax this person out of the crate?
Just like gunshots and dog parts flying.
Yeah, while I'm
Right.
holding a bloody bone saw, I, the character with an 8 in charisma,
Why is it currently bloody? What were you doing while we were...
it's always bloody. Always.
Oh no.
Boy.
You're a bad doctor.
Technically, I'm not a doctor. I don't have my license anymore.
The worst kind of doctor.
Well, Ghost trusts Jack, so...
Wonderful.
Rip
I will
trust.
holster my bone saw and hope I don't get eaten in the back by a dog, I guess.
Okay.
And go over to the crate. Peek inside.
I'm gonna say this is a defy danger charisma because the nature of time is very important right now.
Sounds great. Here I go, rolling. With my -1.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Well, that's an 8 -1. 7.
That is it, man. All right. So let me look up the rules for that real quick. Harburg. So already had it up. So here's the deal. The kid doesn't want to come with you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a kid.
Mm-hmm.
What are they gonna do?
Okay. I feel like I peek in and I go, oh, hello. You kind of want to come out here? Or you're going to catch on fire or get eaten?
Kids just like clamber in the back. So you can choose to, if you want the kid, this is the same as episode 1 of Wildspace. I just realized season 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you want the kid, you can just grab him and take him. Or if you're gonna be polite about it, they're not gonna come with you. That's your bargain right there.
Oh, yeah, no. No. Mm-mm. Oh, don't worry, I got you. Grabs forcibly.
Okay. All right. So you grab this child and drag it out of the container. As the sirens are screaming and the team is kind of mopping up the last of these oh no dogs, you do hear in the distance like more of this robo barking in the distance. You all make your way towards the fire engine hover truck, clambering in rapidly and making your way down, away from the billowing flames that are casting this kind a terrifying orange glow, or orange and green glow, as these chemicals are exploding and everything. You carry on. The child doesn't speak to anyone. Their face transfixed with horror. I'm trying to think if I want to cram in a bunch of stuff right now, or just wait till next time.
Something juicy.
What we'll do is we'll say you return to the drop-off site where extravagant murder is waiting for the skeleton key. When you arrive, Ghost, you notice immediately that something seems off. And as the rest of you kind of make your way through the facility, the walls are streaked with blood. And once again, I'm sorry for the first NPC that gets named by someone in chat. Dies. It's kind of a thing that I do, I guess. But extravagant murder has been extravagantly murdered.
All of them?
All of them.
Oh, so this is my child now.
Gee, I'll give you a free one. And as you're all kind of surveying this scene of corn and macabre, I don't know. That's a terrible joke. A screen flickers on. Just the kind of the waveform of audio coming through. A voice. I have a proposal. And we'll leave the episode there. Pick it up next time. Thank you so much for joining us this week on Wildspace Season 2. I want to thank Savannah for holding this ship together despite technical difficulties. And I want to thank G for offering the NPC name. It was so good. Thank you so much. That's it. That's all we got for tonight. Until next time, y'all. Auf Wiedersehen.
Good night, internet.
Good night, internet.